choppers, that's 20 goons in them. Ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bread until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide.
Coach, this is such a special place. You drive through the streets of Green Bay, no tall buildings, quaint houses, and then boom, right there in the middle of the neighborhood is iconic Lambeau Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Shepard. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's 2nd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And the return will stop right around the 25. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how he wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is where we find out what he has underneath that jersey, because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
Come on, set. 15 lining, 15 lining.
Throwing on first down. Franks setting up the screen for Cook. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Ready, ready. 60 out wide.
Hey, tight end play. Watch tight end. We got 4. We got 4. Shift.
2nd and 14. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Franks. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On the ground, this is Johnson. Big Leonard Williams there on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Kill, 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 kill.
26.
From the 36, Rodgers. He's going to look deep down the field. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. No, he'll field it in the end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over at their own 20-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the gun, Franks. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down.
Here we go. 18 Gator. 42. Man. You. Kill. Try.
Off the play fake. Franks. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Kenny Clark able to record his 5th sack of the season.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. 2nd and long. And the pressure gets to him again. Kenny Clark in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Franks. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 63 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Operating from the gun, Franks. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. He took the hit when he threw that ball. Maybe the O-line just thankful that that worked out for a touchdown.
Yeah, because, you know, their pride is don't let that guy get hit, no matter what, under any circumstances. But anytime it pays off in a touchdown, they'll figure out how to block a little bit better going forward.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Rodgers. He gets this to Davante Adams. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Johnson. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rodgers nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
Ready? Pick it up, guys. Pick it up. What's tight? Tight is right. What's tight? Go!
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Franks. And Diggs has it. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. McManus's point after is good. And that makes our score 17-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
I know, but hold on, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
13 yards, first down, Packers. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Anthony Barr coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. Rodgers now to throw. Looking deep for Adams. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls, and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Danielle Hunter, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll kick it away for the second time. 49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, on maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
2nd and 5. It's complete to Diggs. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Let's go now, let's go now, let's go now. 30 pace, let's go. Tight end right. 4 down, ready, go.
On first down, Franks. That is caught by the former Gator Antonio Callaway. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Give him 32 on the play.
First down, Vikings.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
Come on, set. 15 Lonnie, 15 Lonnie.
Watch out, watch out.
Cut out.
Sit down.
Check all dog. Ready.
From the gun, Franks, and that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown.
Touchdown. Touchdown, baby.
Stephon Diggs with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Shepard. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Looking to throw. Franks dancing to his left. Airing it out for Olsen. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Check nickel, nickel, nickel. 50.
To throw, it's Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked off by DeMonte Casey. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Give to Cook out of the gun. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
To throw on 3rd down. Franks looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. The kick by McManus is good. And that will make the lead now 26. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. That's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Rodgers going to throw. Screenplay, Johnson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool him. They tried to trick him. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. But you just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10.
Set.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
He can't hang. He's not going to get me. Let's go.
To throw on second down. Franks. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
Here we go.
They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10.
Ready, go.
Operating from the gun, Franks. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Fielded at the 20. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a bait?
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know. The offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback. That's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Let's go. 70 in.
Looking to throw on second down. Franks. It's caught. Smith. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll get 2, maybe 3, up near the 37.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They run it again with Cook. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
66. Bullet. Go.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. First down. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. On the tackle that time, Dean Lowry.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Check. H3 218. Chopper. Hut.
To throw on second down. Franks. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
Ready, ready, ready.
42 is the mic.
They're going to need some therapy after this. Check, check. Grace don't travel. Grace don't travel. Stand, go.
From the gun, Franks toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Tried to go back again to Adam Thielen, but it'll be 2nd and goal. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys continue to pour it on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Harrison Smith on the coverage.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Watch the curls.
Now Keenum. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign.
It's now 3rd down.
The Packers on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. To throw, it's Keenum. Looking deep for Adams. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And we'll see what he can do on the return. Not a big deal on that one, just your everyday 67-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. Lets it fly for Thielen. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, and it's 3rd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Back to throw. Franks. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 39. A much better effort we're seeing from him under center this week versus last week when he threw 4 picks.
He has thrown the one in this game, but you're right. When you cut it down from 4 the previous week, and we always talk about adjustments, well, he made some in practice, and he continues to work on it during the game. I'm sure he's getting plenty of reminders about how to stay in the moment, stay focused on the task.
And he's got him in the driver's seat here in the fourth quarter.
Watch tight end.
Pilot, 64, weak. Alpha.
Even. 4 down. Even. Switches.
Ready.
Looking to throw on second down. Franks. He's got Smith here. A good pickup there. 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This will be taken in at the 1.
Let's go.
At their own 18-yard line.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message? And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by DeMonte Kazin. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Throwing now is Keenan. And he's going to go down again. Danielle Hunter in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. It's caught here by Adams. And they'll get 15, but that won't be nearly enough. It's fourth down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole. There was
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line.
Pick your game up.
And they take a knee. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Vikings, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.